So with barely any mention of Ghost's family until the very end of Power, where we learned about the history of Ghost's father, there was further information that was released about Ghost's past. And for those who have followed my channel, know I've mentioned Ghost has a brother, or at least did have a brother, because we don't know whether he's alive or dead. But as we have a lot of new subscribers, and just to jog everybody's memory, this is exactly what Corny Kemp said on this very topic.
Okay, does Ghost have a secret sister? No, not a sister. Hint, 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 hint.
So with that being said, welcome to episode 3 of the Unanswered Power Mysteries, where we break down all of the unanswered questions in the Power universe. And today, we're going to look at the mystery surrounding Ghost's brother and flick from plots and storylines from his relationship with Tommy in Power to Force with Kate's return and JP Gibbs, and eventually Power Book 2 Ghost, and whether Tariq could ever come across Ghost's brother at any stage in Power Book 2 Ghost. Because after all, Corny Kemp did tease there is more story to tell, and this is definitely another way they could tell more story of Ghost through his brother. Now, for 6 seasons of Power, there was zero mention of Ghost's brother, and as far as we knew, Ghost only ever had one.
There ain't no friends in the street. Remember that one? Canaan. Yeah, he taught us that.
I remember. I also remember having more than a friend. I had a brother, man.
So my interpretation of this scene is Ghost was talking about Tommy being his former brother because of the troubles they were going through, but their history runs deep because when Ghost's father died, Ghost went to live with Kate and Tommy. Ghost also used to protect Tommy in the streets, and they built this brotherly bond and relationship from a young age, and despite all their beef and battles they had in Power, they always had each other's backs. For example, where Ghost saved Tommy from the Koreans, or where Tommy had Ghost back when it came to the whole Milan situation, or choosing Ghost over Holly and Tony Teresi. But this relationship was very complex, because one had ambitions to grow their drug empire, build, and have the streets fear him. The other wanted out of the game, where he wanted to put as much distance between him and the streets, and he was looking at the bigger picture, retirement, because he didn't want to be an old wrinkly drug dealer, because he knows in Power, if you continue along this path, it's either death or jail. And this was one of the main issues between Tommy and Ghost throughout Power. But again, regardless of their issues and differences, they always came together as brothers during the Felipe Lobo situation, Milan, and Jason Michich, especially when they had to work together to save Tariq. So in the end, when Tommy realized he'd been looking at this whole chessboard wrong and how he needed to save Ghost, he was too late. So as we saw in Power Book 4 Force, this was a brotherly bond that will forever leave a hole in Tommy's heart, and if you've watched Force Season 1, you could definitely tell how much Tommy missed Ghost.
To Ghost.
The Ghost.
So as we're on the topic of Power Book 4 Force, we have to talk about Kate, Tommy, and JP Gibbs, especially because we found out he was Tommy's brother, but something we haven't got the answers to yet anyway. Why the name JP? And what does JP stand for? Because it is very close to James Patrick. St. Patrick is also an Irish name, and we all know Tommy has some sort of Irish history and past, and only time will tell whether this ties in to the Flynn family. But I've been following the behind the scenes for Power Book 4 Force, and it does seem like Kate Egan definitely has a big role to play in Season 2, and she is someone who can answer most of these unanswered questions that we have about JP, Tommy, and Ghost's past. And if Ghost did indeed have a brother, I'm sure she's someone who may know more about this, and is someone who could possibly reveal to Tommy secrets he never knew, especially because secrets was a big theme in Season 1, where Tommy was uncovering more and more secrets about his past and history, and I do think this is a theme that is definitely going to continue in Season 2. And let's not forget, Kate was someone who was always right when it came to Tommy's past relationships. For example, when she warned him about Holly. But she also warned him when it came to Tony Teresi, calling him the devil, and she was also right when she said Lakeisha will always pick Cash over Tommy. So what really was the underlying reason she hid Miriam Egan from Tommy? Now who knows whether we'll ever get the answers, but I think it's pretty clear why Kate took a young James St. Patrick in and raised it like her own son. She probably felt this guilt of having to leave JP behind when he was a kid, and so in essence, she was trying to fill this void of losing a son, but gaining one in James St. Patrick, and this is a trait that Tommy's kind of adopted from his mom Kate. as much as he'd probably hate to admit it, he's doing exactly what Kate did. He's forever trying to fill the void left in his heart by those who are close to him and those he's lost in the past. Especially because Tommy's a sucker for family and love, and we all know he'll do anything for his family, which is one of the reasons why I don't think this story with Tommy and Tariq is over, not yet anyway. So with that being said, let's move on to Power Book 2 Ghost, and unlike JP Gibbs, where the theory is still open, the one which was closed was the Mecha theory, although he definitely knew who Tariq was, especially when Kane mentioned the name Tariq St. Patrick, and then when he saw him, he knew this was Ghost's son, thanks to Blanca Rodriguez. But there really wasn't anything in the theory of Mecha being Ghost's brother, but something Corny Kemp said with there being more story to tell when it comes to Ghost has me wondering whether we could see it in the form of Ghost's brother appearing in Power Book 2 Ghost. And this is a different perspective which I hadn't considered before, but one I definitely think we should, because Corny Kemp confirmed Ghost is dead, but there is more story to tell. So could this more story be told in the form of Ghost's brother appearing and having an influence or crossing paths with Tariq, either in the game or in the real world of business? Because inevitably, at some stage in Power Book 2 Ghost, there will definitely be a transition from Tariq leaving school, whether he graduates or not, but where we see him navigate the issues and conflicts that come from business, especially because this is one of the many issues Ghost was dealing with from the very first season of Power. For example, he had these constant back and forth battles with competition, and let's not forget his battle with Simon Stern. Now Stern also reached out to Ghost and wanted him to work for him because he knew he was special, but deep down he also wanted Club Truth. But Ghost was his own man and his own boss. Similar to Tariq St. Patrick, he's his own man, and a lot of people have recognized this, not just Monet Tejada, Tariq's ex-teacher, and Ghost himself.
Yeah, Tariq. He is nothing if not industrious.
He's gonna be a big shot. Just like his dad.
Yes, he is.
So in the future, I can definitely see Tariq trying to navigate the real world of business and trying to be his own boss, just like Ghost did, but where he faces constant battles with Simon Stern or possibly even Ghost's brother. So I definitely would love Tariq to come across Ghost's brother, not in the game, but in the real world of business, and him uncovering even more pieces of Ghost's history and who Ghost was. And maybe we could find out the truth behind why Ghost never mentioned him, or why he was never introduced to Tariq St. Patrick and the rest of the family. And again, this is a question for Tasha. Does she even know Ghost had a brother? Because Ghost was a man of many secrets, so it is definitely something to think about. But that's a breakdown on a few different scenarios and perspectives when it comes to Ghost's brother, and an opportunity for the writers to really give us more backstory on Ghost's past, and one which I hope they do in Power Book 2 Ghost with Tariq St. Patrick. So drop all your thoughts down below on how and where you'd like to see Ghost's brother introduced, and of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.